Did Jay Z steal Beyoncé's money? Shocking new evidence! Beyoncé's money was stolen, and rumors started to spread that her own husband stole it from her. Is it true? Or is there a twist in the story? Beyoncé Knowles started shining when she was just a teen. Her dad was the one who pushed her and her Destiny's Child buddies into the limelight. In today's video, we will find out the details about the rumors about her money being stolen from her and see who was the person behind all this. Accusations on Dad. Beyoncé's dad wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. He had a dark side that made Beyoncé's life harder. She had a big fallout with her dad, Matthew Knowles, in 2011. She thought he was taking money from behind her back, and her hubby, Jay Z, helped her figure it out. Beyoncé was already famous back then, but she was still finding her own voice after Destiny's Child. She shocked everyone by dumping her dad as her manager. The media went crazy with rumors that Matthew was a thief, but he said it wasn't true, TMZ reported. Beyoncé said it wasn't personal, just business. "I've only parted ways with my father on a business level," she said in a statement to Billboard. "He is my father for life, and I love my dad dearly. I am grateful for everything he has taught me. I grew up watching both he and my mother, Tina Knowles, manage and own their own businesses. They were hardworking entrepreneurs, and I will continue to follow in their footsteps." It was a big deal because her dad had been with her since day one. But it wasn't easy for Beyoncé to cut him off. She needed some support from her legendary husband. Jay Z has been by her side since she was a young star, and he saw her grow into an icon. Investigations. A podcast called Even the Rich spilled the tea on what went down. Apparently, Beyoncé hired some people to check out what her dad was up to in 2010, and they found out he was doing some shady stuff with her money. She was so mad and hurt that she had to choose between keeping him around or cutting him off. She took a break from touring the world to figure out what to do. She was in a tough spot, but luckily she had her hubby, Jay Z, to support her. He told her to stand up for herself and get rid of her dad's influence, and that's exactly what she did. She fired him and became her own boss. Proceedings. Beyoncé and her dad had a messy breakup, but she didn't let that stop her from shining. She was already a superstar before, but after she dropped Lemonade in 2016, she blew everyone away with her raw and honest songs about love, betrayal, and forgiveness. She showed us that she's not just a singer. She's a legend who can rap, dance, act, and produce. She's also a mom now to 3 beautiful kids, and she's using her voice to make a difference in the world. She's all about girl power, Black Lives Matter, and being true to yourself. She's not afraid to speak her mind and stand up for what she believes in. She's donated millions of dollars to various causes, performed at the Super Bowl and Coachella, and made history as the first Black woman to win the Grammy for Album of the Year. Jay Z was there for her through it all, but it was Beyoncé who freed herself from her dad's drama. He helped her get started in the music biz when she was just a teenager in Destiny's Child, but he also tried to control her too much and cheated on her mom. She had to say goodbye and take charge of her own destiny. But this whole story is from the Beyoncé's point of view. After years passed, we heard new rumors and shocking discoveries about Jay Z manipulating Beyoncé, and the speculations grew stronger each day. The revelations. After remaining silent for a long time, Jay Z's dad finally spoke up and said some shocking things about Jay Z. You might think that Beyoncé and Jay Z are the perfect couple, but there's a dark side to their love story. Some people say that Jay Z got Beyoncé addicted to drugs to control her. That's what her dad said anyway. He said that Jay Z was giving Beyoncé drugs to keep her under his thumb. How messed up is that? Beyoncé has been drinking and doing drugs for a long time, and it all started when she hooked up with Jay Z. He's a rapper who raps about drugs and crime, and he's not a good influence on her. He's got her hooked on his music and his lifestyle, and it's not healthy. One time, Beyoncé's sister Solange went off on Jay Z in an elevator. It was after a fancy party in 2014, and they were all in the elevator together. Solange was yelling at Jay Z about something, and then she started hitting and kicking him. It was crazy. A security guard tried to stop her, but she was like a wild animal. The whole thing was caught on camera, and everyone saw it. It made people wonder what was going on with Beyoncé and Jay Z, and what made Solange so mad at him. Fight. Elevator fight was some juicy drama. TMZ got the video and everyone saw it. It was like a soap opera. Solange was punching and kicking Jay Z like a ninja. Beyoncé was just standing there, not doing anything. What was that about? Well, some people say that it started earlier that night. Solange got into a fight with some lady named Rachel Roy, who was a friend of Jay Z. Solange thought that Rachel was flirting with Jay Z, and she didn't like that. She was very protective of Beyoncé. Then, Jay Z said something to Solange that pissed her off even more. Maybe he was cheating on Beyoncé, or maybe he was just being rude. Whatever it was, Solange snapped and attacked him in the elevator. They tried to act like nothing happened after that. They released a statement saying that they were sorry and that they were a family. They said that Solange wasn't drunk or crazy and that they had moved on. But we all know that there was something wrong with their relationship. Solange didn't like Jay Z from the start. She knew he wasn't good for Beyoncé, and she wasn't afraid to show it. Matthew hated Jay Z. When Jay Z came into the picture, Matthew was not happy. He didn't like Jay Z at all. Jay Z wanted Beyoncé to be more badass. He wanted her to show off her sexy side and be more confident. Matthew didn't like that either. He wanted Beyoncé to be his sweet little girl. He was afraid that Jay Z would take her away from him. Matthew also had a problem with Jay Z's past. Jay Z grew up in a rough neighborhood and used to sell drugs. Matthew thought he was bad news for Beyoncé. He didn't want his daughter to date a guy from the streets who was much older than her. He thought Jay Z was trouble. He didn't hide his feelings about Jay Z. He said he hated him and didn't want to hang out with him. He was very rude and mean to him. Beyoncé's fans were also worried about her and Jay Z. They thought he was too old for her and not good enough for her. The Beauty and the Beast. All this hate Beyoncé's family had for Jay Z could have been due to the reason that both belonged to an opposite lifestyle and had different norms and family background. Jay Z had a rough life growing up. He lived in a bad neighborhood in Brooklyn where there was a lot of violence and drugs. His dad left him when he was a kid. He even shot his own brother over a ring. He was a drug dealer for a while. He also stabbed a guy who he thought was messing with his music. He was not someone you wanted to mess with. Beyoncé had a totally different life. She was born into a nice family in Houston, Texas. Her mom had a salon and her dad had a good job. She went to a fancy school and sang in the church choir. She was pretty and talented. She had it all. They met in 2000 when Beyoncé was 18 and Jay Z was 30. They were like night and day. He was a rapper who rapped about the streets. She was a singer who sang about love and dreams. They didn't seem like they would get along, but maybe they liked each other because they were so different. Maybe Jay Z wanted to be more classy and Beyoncé wanted to be more edgy. Maybe they saw something in each other that no one else did. Final verdict. It's hard to know what really happened, but we'll try to break it down for you. So here's the deal. Beyoncé's family was very protective of her. They wanted her to be safe and happy. They didn't want her to get involved with bad people or bad things. They were always there for her, especially her dad Matthew, who was also her manager. Jay Z's family was very different. He grew up in a tough neighborhood where he had to deal with violence and drugs. His dad left him when he was young. He had to hustle to survive. He became a rapper who rapped about his life on the streets. They met in 2000. They fell in love and started dating. They were like opposites who attracted each other. Beyoncé liked Jay Z's edginess and confidence. Jay Z liked Beyoncé's beauty and talent, but not everyone was happy for them. Beyoncé's family didn't trust Jay Z. They thought he was bad for her. They thought he was using her and controlling her. They thought he was making her do things she didn't want to do. Maybe they were right. Maybe Jay Z manipulated Beyoncé and made her turn against her family. Maybe he told her to fire her dad and accuse him of stealing her money. Maybe he got her hooked on drugs and alcohol. Maybe he cheated on her and lied to her. Or maybe they were wrong. Maybe Jay Z loved Beyoncé and supported her. Maybe he helped her become more independent and successful. Maybe he gave her happiness and peace. Maybe he was faithful and honest to her. We don't know for sure what happened, but we know that there was a lot of drama and confusion. We know that Beyoncé and Jay Z had their ups and downs. We know that Beyoncé's sister Solange attacked Jay Z in an elevator one time. We know that Beyoncé's dad said some nasty things about Jay Z. So, who do you think was the villain in this story? Who do you think stole Beyoncé's money? Was it Jay Z or Matthew? Or someone else? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy gossip. See you next time.